who will be presenting. So from my side, I'm Jan de Vries, Community Manager at Mendix. I'm your low-code host, and it is my pleasure to introduce the India team, MXTechies, today. And I can't wait to see what they have to share with you all. So feel free to use the chat for any questions, for any feedback, and I'll hand it over to Dinesh to kick it off.
Thank you, Jan. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year to you all. Let me introduce us first. My name is Dinesh, and I'm expert certified and technical lead with MXTechies. So I've been working with Mendix Space for over 4 years now. So I have worked with several large enterprise customers of Mendix across the globe. So we take great pleasure in welcoming you to the first ever MXTechies Mendix Virtual Meet of 2023. Today, we're going to talk about how to integrate Stripe Payment Gateway with your Mendix app. Let me introduce you to the stars of today's session, Bharathi and Krishna. Both Bharathi and Krishna are expert certified in Mendix, so they have been associated with Mendix for over half a decade for now. So without further any ado, I'll hand over the session to Krishna.
Thank you, Dinesh. Good day to everybody. Today we are going to look at how to integrate a Stripe in Mendix. Let's get started. Here is the agenda for the day. So first, we would like to talk about the MXTechies, our journey so far. Quick introduction to Stripe Payment Gateway. Next, we will look at why we have used Stripe Payment Gateway and how we have integrated the Stripe APIs in Mendix app. Next, we will come up with the use case and what are all the prerequisites to for this integration and process of integrating the Stripe in Mendix application. Finally, we will have an Q&A session. A snapshot of our journey so far. MXTechies was incepted in 2017. We are headquartered at Delaware, United States, and have office in India and Singapore. We are partnered with Siemens Mendix. Also, we are ISO certified company for quality and security. One of our core service offering is Mendix low-code development. We have over 75 plus Mendix developers. Only company in Asia to have 6 expert certified developers. Have created over 20 plus custom widgets, built over 50 plus applications in Mendix across manufacturing, insurance, banking, finance, real estate, legal, and logistics. Apart from Mendix, our area of expertise includes advanced analytics, robotic process automation, application and cloud engineering, and digital solutions. We have clients across multiple sectors and geographies. Also, we have an association and certification in AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. The interesting segment starts from here on. Let's go with the Stripe Payment Gateway in Mendix. Stripe is an emerging and fast-growing payment gateway for startups with over 3 million merchants. It's a fully integrated suite of API powering online payment business for small and large enterprises. It supports various business models like e-commerce and retails. It supports online and in-person payments, offers non-profits and fundraisers. Software as a service involves the subscriptions. Finally, a B2B payment cycles. Why to use Stripe? Interesting. So it is more powerful and easy to use APIs, and we can integrate with easy. API can be integrated easy to any technologies or languages. So around 150 plus country codes, currencies are accepted in this payment methods. Intelligent optimization, which prevents the fraudulent transactions and encourages enhanced data security. And finally, around 13,000 API requests per second is processed per second. And then 250 million API a request per day is being processed in the Stripe APIs. So before getting into the main demo, I would like to catch up with some Mendix hacks in this presentation. So just a small hacks, like when we have a lot of activities in a microflows, like if you want to align it horizontally, so like do you know how to align it horizontally and equally distributed? Select all the activities and right click it. Either you can choose align horizontally or distribute horizontally. This is one of the hack. And we have chosen an e-commerce domain to showcase the Stripe integration in Mendix. We have created a Mendix app in e-commerce use case of searching a product, adding a product to the cart, and purchasing a product using a Stripe payment gateway. So we have used Stripe APIs to make a payment, create a product, and then create an invoice. Let's move on to the prerequisites to start with the integration. First, you need to have a developer account, a Stripe developer account, and you need to download the Stripe payment gateway module from the Mendix marketplace. So MXTechies have built a module exclusively with some APIs that has been integrated in this module. So let's navigate to the Mendix modeler. So search for a Stripe payment gateway module from the marketplace and download that module into the project, and you can see there will be a sub folder called API. Inside that folder we have created the microflow where we have integrated all the APIs. Let us discuss about one of the sub microflow. Yeah, so create price. So this microflow has a 3 parameters where we will be passing the API URL, a secret key, and then the body, so that we are going to send to the post method. And we also have the example folder. Whenever you create the Stripe configurations and an account, we have created the page where you can test your respective invoice APIs, payment link APIs, price APIs. Likewise, all the edit page has been configured in this example folder. And finally, we have the authentication for webhooks. As you all know, we need to make a payment from our application to the Stripe payment gateway. So the payment has to be updated automatically. So we are achieving that using a webhooks. So to authenticate that webhooks, we have created a Java action. So that Java action will authenticate using the signature key of that webhooks. So this is the Java action that will make that necessary authentication from Stripe to Mendix. So next, I would like to explain about the list of APIs and that we have used in detail. So Stripe organized around the REST services. The services accepts form encoded request body, and it returns the JSON response, and it authenticates using the bearer token. And we have also tackled the various HTTP status code from the APIs, Stripe APIs. So totally we have integrated 6 APIs. You can see all the 6 APIs here. Price API is to create a product in Stripe, and payment link to do the payment for that product, invoice to generate the invoice. Similarly, we have 2 more APIs in the list. So all these APIs are post methods. Yeah. So next, I would like to show you a useful tweak from the Mendix. So I hope that everyone would know how to align text content vertically in the Mendix page. So by default, developers used to use the layout grid to align a text content, but we have come up with a tweak like by using multiple containers, parent container, and inside that parent container you can use a two child container and place the two text component to align them. So on the parent container you can use the property uh, left align as a row. So using this, you can avoid the customization in CSS as well as avoid that layout grid alignment. Yeah. So also, like we have just added the GIF. In the GIF, you can see how we are doing that respective uh, alignment using the containers. So next, we need to start with the configurations from Stripe. So we need to use the secret key from the Stripe developer account, and we need to look for the products and create the products in the Stripe account and configure the webhooks to make the successful payment from Mendix as well as Stripe. In Mendix app, first from Mendix version 9.12.4, you can create the Mendix application, and you need to download the Stripe Payment Gateway module and download the encryption module. As I said, we are using the secret key from Stripe. So to encrypt that secret key, we are using the encryption module from the marketplace. And use the secret key from the Stripe account and save that in your project. So we have the configuration page. So you can configure that in your navigation page and then configure that secret key. So let's go and create a product in Mendix app. Before that, I would like to explain the product API in detail. So we have used the e-commerce use case. So in e-commerce, we used to search for a product. Let us take us Amazon. So in Amazon, you are going to search for iPhone. The iPhone product has to be created in Amazon application, as well as you are doing a payment to a payment gateway. So even that product has to be created in the payment gateway as well. So we have automated this process. So we are leveraging this functionality using the price API. So price API will create us the product in Stripe, and it will provide us the unique price ID. So price using the price ID only, we are going to make the payments. We are going to generate the invoice, and we are going to uh, also do the webhooks. Like we are going to update the respective payment details in the Mendix app. So the price ID is very important. So yeah. So let's look into the price API in detail with the parameters. So price API is a post method. So it has several important parameters, currency. So we need to send the currency code. It should be ISC code. By default, we have taken USD as a currency code now in our use case. And we need to mention this product is active or not. And we have to set the unit amount for the product. For example, let us take the iPhone. I'm setting the value for $200. So those $200 will be defined in the unit amount as well as in the unit amount decimal. And you can name the product in the product name attribute. And one more important thing, all the unit amounts will be converted as cents. For example, if I am defining a product price as 1 USD, it has to be converted as 100 cents. So 1 USD is equal to 100 cents. So in our functionality in microflow, we have handled that. So we are doing that conversion from respective currency to the cents. So for all the APIs that we are interacting with Stripe, so this conversions will be taken place. So next we will go to the Stripe page. Yeah. So as I mentioned, you need to create the Stripe account. Once you create, there will be a developer dashboard. Navigate to the developer dashboard. You'll be having the metrics of all the APIs, like how many APIs are successfully executed and how many are failed. And you can see the webhooks, how many webhooks are successfully executed and failed. So now let's go back. Let's go to the API key. In API key, we have the secret key. You can copy that secret key and configure that in the Mendix application. Yeah, we can go to the Mendix app. So this is our Mendix application. So we have a configuration page already. We will navigate to that configuration page and configure. So we have already configured it. So we have also encrypted the secret key using the encryption module. So whenever you are creating a new secret key in the application using this encryption module, we are doing encryption for the secret key. So let's go back again to the API Stripe. So in Stripe, we have the products page. In products, you can see we have already created a set of products in Stripe. So you can see the date, on which date we have created, what is the product name and the product price along with the currency code. Let's navigate to the product details page. So in this page, you can see the image that has been uploaded for this product and the product name, on which date the product has been created, and you can see the price ID. The price ID, I'm highlighting that price ID. So this price ID will be unique for this product. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to create a new product from Mendix app with the help of Stripe API. Let's jump back again to the Mendix application. So this is the admin dashboard where we can see all the products application. Click on add assert and enter your product name and product subtitle and quantity, price. So I'm entering 50 USD dollar. So the 50 will be converted into cents, and I'm going to make that. I'm entering the description details, uploading the images. Yeah. So before creating, I would like to debug the flow in Mendix Modeler. So we have a set of sub micro flows to construct the request body. So the request body is form encoded, and let's check the variable after executing this sub micro flow. So in this variable, we have the form encoded body. You can see we are constructing the currency code and unit amount. In user interface, we entered 50 USD dollar. In the backend, we have converted that into cents, and we have made this product as active, and we have entered the product name and product data active or not. So all these required field are constructed, and let's decrypt the secret key. So we have the sub micro flow to decrypt the secret key using the encryption module, and we will go inside this sub micro flow. So in this microflow, we are sending the three parameters, as I mentioned, body and then URL of the API and secret key. So let's check the response. So all the APIs we have integrated, Stripe API returns us the JSON response. So we are capturing this JSON response and importing into the Mendix entities. So in this flow, we are capturing the price ID, so that is unique, and then product ID is unique. So before executing this flow, yeah, we will execute this flow. The product is created successfully. You can see it is created in Mendix. So when we started to create the product, the Stripe price ID field was empty. Now we have the value. after the successful save, we are mapping the JSON attribute to the respective Mendix entity attribute. So we are saving this value here, and the same product will be created in Stripe as well. So yeah, you can see the Nike shoe, the product name has been created, and 50 USD price is captured here, and on what date we have created the same price, the price ID is also here. Additionally, in Stripe, we have the feature of enabling the coupons for the product whenever we have the big billion day. So if you want to add a coupon for respective product, you can leverage that option in Stripe. If you want to add any shipping rates to a product, you can add that feature to this product, tax rates and pricing tables. So additionally, these 4 features are available in products. Based upon the requirements, we can enable these options for the each products in Stripe. So and one more hacks from Mendix 9.8.3. We have the options to explore the Mendix modeler console logs. So we have the GIF as well. So you can see the GIF. You can export the local environment log file into an Excel sheet. Yep. So now we are going to demonstrate about the payment links and then invoice APIs. Over to you, Bharathi.
Thanks, Krish. Now let's see how to create a payment link. So payment links can be generated for a list of products, that is list of assets available. It's also possible to enable the coupon and promotion codes via the API service. Once the payment has been successfully completed, it's also possible to redirect the user back to the application. It's also possible for using these payment link that can be deactivated. And once a payment link has been successfully created, we can able to share that payment link to the different users. Now let's see how the payment link URL, its method and its body looks like. So the method is post. Some of the key fields which are required to generate the body for payment link or line item of price, quantity and adjustable quantity. So line items are nothing but a list of products. So if there are multiple products, we can able to add multiple line items. So price is nothing but we need to pass price ID. For quantity, we can able to pass the number of quantity in which that product is needed. Adjustable quantity can be enabled if any adjustment needs to be done in the quantity side while the payment has been done from Stripe. Also, if any redirection needs to happen after the payment, that can be done using these 2 key fields, that is after completion of type and after completion of redirect URL. So we need to pass type as redirect and we need to pass the respective URL which needs to be redirected. Also, we can able to pass the promotion codes. We can able to enable the promotion codes yes or no to that boolean. And the last and final field is the currency, which is the ISO currency code. Now I will demonstrate how to generate a payment link via Mendix application. Let me log in as a user and add a couple of products to the cart. So these are the list of products available in Mendix as well as in Stripe. Let me add a couple of products to the cart. From there on, we can able to see how to create a payment link. I have added iPhone Apple, which is of $999, and I will add Cello, which is of $45. So in cart section, we can able to see the added product, that is iPhone Apple and Cello. Yep. So this is a checkout page which we have created in Mendix, where we can able to enter the delivery address, phone number, and we can able to select the payment method. So right now the payment will happen using Stripe Payment Gateway. Let's see how the body which has been generated for these 2 products which I've added in cart. Yep. So this is a body which has been generated Let's see how it looks like. So here you can able to see couple of line items has been added. So first one is of iPhone Apple. Its price ID and the quantity is 1, and the adjustable quantity has been enabled to false. And the second line item is the cello. The price is its respective price ID and quantity is 1, and line item adjustable quantity has been enabled to false. In addition to these key fields, we can also able to see allow promotion code has been set to true and currency has been set to USD. Also, we have set the after completion type redirect and its respective URL. Now let's check how the response from Stripe looks like. Once we pass these asserts of products as a form encoded URL, so this is the response which we got from Stripe. So here we can able to see the payment link ID. So using this payment link, we can able to update or modify, or we can able to delete this payment link, or we can also able to deactivate the payment link. And right now it is inactive. So we have added a redirection URL in form encoded body. So we can able to see that as well. Also, we can able to see the currency, which is in USD. Apart from these fields, Stripe sends out the URL, so using which we can able to pay. So this is the URL which has been used for the payment. So once we continue this flow, we have automated in such a way that it will automatically navigate back to the Stripe checkout page using the URL which we got from Stripe. So these are the products which I've added in Stripe, and for those I've been navigated to the Stripe checkout page. So since I've enabled the promotion code here, if there are any promotion codes available, I can able to enter that. So let me quickly pay this one. Once the payment has been done, since we have configured the redirect URL, it will automatically redirect back to the application. Yep. So we have written a flow in such a way that in my orders, we can able to see the orders for which the payment has been done. Also, from Stripe side, we can also able to check what payment has been done for which products. So in payment navigation, we can able to see all the payments which has been generated. So this is the one which has been generated recently. Here we can able to see the date and time and the customer which has paid. Let me open this up. So here we can able to see the timeline. The payment has been started on which date and it has been completed on which date. In addition to these details, we can also able to see the checkout summary of which products this amount has been paid. iPhone Apple, its quantity and its unit price. And we can able to see the payment details as well. Now let's see what is invoice. So invoice are a list of statements owned by the statements of amounts owned by the customers that can be generated once or on a regular basis. Invoice can be generated from different Stripe APIs like create invoice and adding the invoice line items to that invoice and finalizing the invoice. Once the invoice has been finalized, we cannot be able to edit or modify that invoice. And the last and important concept is the webhooks. Webhooks are communication between the application. Webhook is an HTTP endpoint that receives Stripe events. In addition to that, Webhooks allows you to be notified with the payment events that happen outside the application. Let's say invoice payment successful. To prevent downgrade attack, Stripe provides a signature which is a hash-based message authentication code with SHA-256. Once Webhooks triggers, we can able to get the request for that invoice. Let's say if an invoice has been generated, which has been paid successfully, we can able to, using Webhooks, we can able to get the request from Stripe that this payment has been done successfully. Using that, we can able to modify the existing flow which happens in our application. Now let's see how to create an invoice via Mendix application. Let me purchase a subscription, Netflix subscription, which is of $20 a month. Let me buy this one. So once we click this buy now, the aforementioned API service will be triggered. That is create invoice, adding the line item to that invoice and finalizing the invoice. So the first one will be of creating the invoice, that is generating the invoice. So let's see how what is the body that needs to be sent to create an invoice. So we need a couple of fields to create the invoice body, that is the currency and the customer in which this invoice needs to be generated. Once we pass this body to generate an invoice, we will get an invoice ID. So this is the invoice ID which we have got from Stripe. So once we got the invoice ID, we can able to add line item. Line items are nothing but the subscription which we have added right now. To generate the invoice line item, there will be set of key fields which needs to be added as a body to generate the line item. Let's see the key invoice line item fields. That is customer ID, and the currency is USD, and the amount. So amount, as already mentioned, amount will be converted to cents. $20 has been converted to 2000 cents, and the description is Netflix subscription, and the invoice is the respective invoice ID here. Once the invoice line item has been paid, we are finalizing the invoice. Once the invoice has been finalized, we cannot able to edit or modify or do any changes to that invoice. Let's see the response, finalize invoice response from Stripe. So this is the response which we have got from Stripe. So the ID, this is the invoice ID, and the object is invoice, and we can able to see the amount due, that is 2000 cents, and the amount paid. Right now no amount has been paid for this invoice, so amount paid is 0, and we can able to see the remaining amount which is available, that is 2000 cents. Apart from these details, we can able to see the billing details and customer details for this invoice. In addition to these fields, two key fields which are required are this hosted invoice URL and invoice PDF. So Stripe generates a URL from which the invoice can be downloaded as a PDF, which can be shared across to different users. Also, if payment needs to be done via your application, we can use this particular link where we can navigate to the Stripe invoice payment page, and payment can be done directly there. On bottom of that, we can able to see the line items which has been added to this invoice. We can able to see the description and the currency and the amount here. Let's continue this flow. Once this has been continued, we have given a provision to download the invoice, and we have also given a provision to pay for this user. Let's quickly download this invoice. So using the URL which I have mentioned, we can able to download the invoice. So this is the invoice which has been generated directly from Stripe. We can able to see the account ID and the invoice number, date of issue, and the date in which it has been due. Also, we can able to see the bill to details and ship to details. On bottom of that, we can able to see the amount that needs to be paid on which respective date. As I mentioned about the invoice line item, we can able to see here the description, the quantity, and the unit price for this Netflix subscription. So we can able to pay this directly here using this pay online, or we can able to pay that directly from our application. Let me pay this using this invoice PDF. So once we click on this pay online, it will automatically navigate to the invoice Stripe payment page, where we can able to see the invoice details, invoice and invoice details here. Let me pay for this invoice. So once the payment has been done, Webhook will automatically trigger from Stripe to Mendix application. So there are few configurations that needs to be done from Stripe as well as from Mendix side. So before moving on to Webhooks, we can able to download the receipt if needed, and we can also able to download the invoice from this invoice Stripe page. So this is the invoice which has been generated from Stripe, and this is the receipt which has been generated from Stripe as well. Yep. So as I mentioned, Webhooks. Let's see what is Webhooks and what are the configuration that needs to be done from Mendix as well as from Stripe side. So Webhooks are simply means of communication between application. Webhooks is an HTTP endpoint that receives Stripe events. Let's quickly see how to configure the webhooks in Stripe. So in developer navigation, we can able to see the webhooks here. So there has already been an URL configured for which an event has been triggered. So let me open this one. So here for this URL, when this event happens, let's say if invoice has been paid, request will be sent out from Stripe to this particular URL, which will be listening for this event. So right now I have paid an invoice which has been triggered. We can able to see the invoice which has been paid along with the date and time, its response which we have got from Stripe and from Mendix application, and the request which has been sent from Stripe side. Let's quickly see what are the configuration that needs to be done from Mendix side. So here I've added a breakpoint and you can able to see an event has been triggered from Stripe to this particular Mendix application. Let me continue this one. So this is a service which I have created so that when an event of invoice paid has happened from Stripe, an event will trigger from Stripe to this particular URL. Yep. So first we need to get the signature which has been generated from Stripe. So we can able to get that from HTTP header list, which is available from HTTP request. Once we got the signature, we can able to use the Stripe signature Java action, which has been written in Stripe payment gateway module. So using this module, we can able to check whether the Stripe signature is a valid one or invalid one. Once we have verified that, we can able to process the details from the request which we got from Stripe. If it is an invalid signature, we can able to send out a response of 400 and signature not matching the Stripe. If it's a valid signature, so we can able to get the response, invoice response from this Java action, and we can able to process that request here. So in our scenario, once the invoice has been paid, here we will get that request and we will modify that request from the paid boolean which you've got from Stripe. So these are the few configurations which needs to be done from Mendix side. Let's see what are the configuration that needs to be done from Stripe side. Let's quickly add an endpoint here. So yep. So here we need to pass an endpoint URL and also a description here in what event, at what scenario or what event, when an event occurs, this endpoint should listen to. Let me add invoice paid here. So there will be list of events available. Let's say for a payment link can be created or updated. If in such scenario, we can able to enable that webhooks as well. Yep. So for payment link, once a payment link has been created, we can also enable a webhook. Once a payment link has been created, an event will trigger from Stripe to Mendix. So let me add the invoice paid. So once the invoice has been paid, and a request will generate from Stripe, and that will be sent out the configured HTTP endpoint here. So right now I've already configured an endpoint. Let's see how that looks like. So this is the endpoint which I've configured. So here we can able to see the list of details which has been passed from Stripe to Mendix and its respective whether that's a successful one or an invalid one. Also here we can able to see the signing in secret. So using the signing in secret, we can able to check whether this signature is a valid one or not. So we need to copy this one and we need to add it to a constant which we have here. That is using in this constant we need to update that secret. So once that secret has been updated, we can able to check whether that signature is a valid one from Stripe or not. And apart from this endpoint secret, we need to pass the payload content which we've got from Stripe. That is this particular value, we need to pass it to the Java action, the request which has been sent from Stripe to Mendix. Apart from that, we need to pass the signature which we've got from HTTP headers, and we need to pass this new REST service entity. So we will append the request which is from Stripe to this particular entity. Using that entity, we can get the JSON value from Java action, and we can do the necessary stuffs here. Let me quickly showcase a demo of how this webhook works. Let me again generate an invoice and let's pay for that one. In my orders, we can able to check this invoice. Yep, in my orders, we can able to check this invoice has been generated and it has been paid here. Let's quickly add another subscription here. Okay, this one. Let's continue this one. So once we click on this use payment method, it will again navigate to the invoice type page where payment can be done. Once the payment happens, an invoice and event a webhook will trigger from Mendix, from Stripe to Mendix. And here we can able to see that I've added a breakpoint. From here we can able to get the signature. Let's see how this signature looks like. So this is a signature which we will get from Stripe. So we will decrypt the signature and get the respective JSON body from Stripe. Yeah, here you can able to see the signature is a valid one, and we can able to get the JSON out of this invoice. So this is the JSON which you have got from Stripe. So using this invoice ID, so we are storing the invoice ID. Based on invoice ID, we can able to change the paid boolean to true or false. Yep, so this is the invoice, and here we can able to see it has been paid, which has been set to true. And we can hit continue once the payment has been done successfully. So from Mendix, here we can able to check in orders the payment has been changed to paid here. So this is the concept of webhooks. So we can able to see when an event happens from Stripe, notification will send from Stripe to application which has been configured as an endpoint. From there on, we can able to do the necessary stuffs inside our application. And another interesting concept which we can see is about donate. So a fundraiser can also be created like a donate kind of a service using the Stripe API which is available. The same API which has been used for payment link can be used. So the key difference between the payment link which has been created and donation is where the price and quantity will be predefined by the users. Let's say if Netflix, if an Apple iPhone needs to be bought, the price and quantity will be predefined by the user. But in donation, where the customer chooses the price, he can able to donate either $10 or $20, whatever amount he wishes. And another key feature in the body difference between the payment link and donate is the submit type. So the other line items and after completion and allow promotion codes and currency will remain same. Apart from that, we need to set the submit type to donate. Let me quickly show how to donate, how to use this payment link API to create a donation URL. So here we have given a provision once the user clicks on this button. Yeah. So before moving on to generate and before moving on to create a donation URL, let's see how to create a product where customer chooses the price. Let's navigate back to dashboard Stripe. So in products, let's manually create a product where customer chooses the price. So let me add a product. So here let's add donation payment, and if there are any image needed, we can able to add that. In pricing, so we need to set the pricing. So there are 4 different pricings available. That is a standard pricing, package pricing, graduated pricing, volume pricing, and customer chooses price. So standard pricing and customer chooses price are the ones which are supported by Stripe via the APIs. So in this scenario, customer needs to define the price, or let's say choose the price which he needs to enter. Also, we can able to define in which currency that is needed, and if there are any preset amount that needs to be displayed while donating, that's also possible here. So let's add $5 here. So once the user navigate to the donate URL, he will able to see this $5 as a preset amount. In addition to that, if if any limits needs to be set for this donation, that can also be done using the set limit. So the minimum and maximum amount can be defined. So right now I'm not defining any limits here. Let's quickly save this one. So once this product has been saved, we can able to get the pricing. So using this price ID, we can able to hit the payment link and a donation URL will get generated. Let's quickly see how to generate a payment URL. So once I click on this, so we are triggering the generate payment link with this respective body here. In body, we can able to see the price ID, that is line item of price, and quantity is 1, currency is USD, so which will be quite similar to the one which we have in payment link. Apart from that, we are also setting the submit type to donate. If the submit type is changed to donate, donation URL will get generated. So this is the response which we have got from Stripe. Let's open this one. Similar to payment link, we can able to see the details that are related here. That is the payment link ID, and the object is payment link, and that has been active. Since no redirection URL has been configured, this will be of empty, and allow promotion code is false. Also billing address collection, and the major important field is a URL, and here you can able to see this URL has been generated as a donate.stripe.com from Stripe side. Let's check how this donate looks like. Let me continue this. Once it has been continued, we have automated that. It will automatically navigate to the Stripe page, checkout page, where we can able to check the predefined amount. Yeah. So it has been navigated. Here we can able to see the preset amount which has been added here. So we have configured the payment link with a preset amount of $5 that has been displayed here, where the customer, if needed, customer can pay this one, or if he needs to pay more amount or a lesser amount which as a preset amount, he can do so using this change amount. Let me quickly pay $50, and he can either pay with the link or he can able to pay with the card here. Pay this one. Pay this one. Let's donate this $50. So since no redirection URL has been configured, redirection will not happen from Stripe to our application, and this is the response after the donation. We can able to see this amount has been paid and thanks for the donation. So these are the details which we can able to configure from Stripe side. And from Stripe, we can able to see in payments, we can able to see a donation has been happened, and we can able to see those details. That is $50 has been paid. So all the details, payment related details, we can able to view in payment page here. Payment has been started and payment has been succeeded. You can able to see the amount and the customer, what amount he has entered, and what is the item, that is donation, and the quantity is one, the customer's choice here. That is the end as $50. Apart from that, we can able to see the admins can able to see the payment details and payment methods which has been used for this particular payment. So yeah, that concludes our presentation here. If there are any questions, we can able to post that and post that as a comments. We are more than happy to answer those.
I think I could see one question from Raja. So yes, Raja, I think Stripe supports multiple users, so all the payment is based on the API requests. So I think your answer is correct. So it's purely based on the API request that you're going to send to the Stripe. I think hope it answered your question.
Also, we can able to configure the OTP if needed inside the Stripe.
Yep. The QA session and the chat will be open for 2 to 3 minutes. You can, yep, make use of that.
So one question I can see from Raja, multiple users are trying to purchase same product at a time. What will happen? How we can handle those cases?
Yep, I have answered that, Bharathi. Yes, Vinit. So we can use UPI payments. So Stripe supports multiple UPI payments. Yep. So it will be there in the documentation.
Yes. So UPI payments like wallets of Google Pay with different countries, it is possible for a payment link and invoice paid. Stripe doesn't allow us using the payments. Apart from other details like payouts or checkouts, it is possible to pay using the wallets like UPay, Google Pay, or whatever wallets we have. That's also possible. We can use those for those respective payouts or checkouts there.
Any option to share the product in social media? So yeah, I think it's up to the application you're showing. So you can also share the payment link if you want to do. So I think that's purely possible. So we have the option of sharing the payment, creating the payment link in Stripe. Yeah, that's great. Okay, why is it going to have our, you only want this use it for payment from here, then you don't want to use the invoice section.
So we need to define a product in Stripe as well, Richard. Based upon that product creation, we have demonstrated about the price ID. So the price ID is unique for all the factors. So we make the payment based upon the price IDs.
So in addition to what Krish said, so the calculations related to price and quantity that will be automatically generated from Stripe. We can use the APIs to get those details, and we don't need to do any kind of permutations or whatever configuration that needs to be done inside your application.
So in the interest of time, so we'll if you have any questions, like we'll take it offline. So you can mail us at, I think, connect at mxtechies.com. So we'll be happy. We'll be happy to answer you there. Thank you all. Have a great evening. Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all for your wonderful time.
So we will meet back soon.